When you go into these games like this against Premier League opposition, obviously you say the aim is to win, but is it a free hit as well for teams at your level? Because I suppose there's zero expectation on you guys going into this.
Yeah, I understand your question. I would never class it as a free hit, but we're a very good League One opposition playing against a very good Premier League side. So I suppose the expectation from the outside influences would expect Southampton to win that game, but I wouldn't be ignorant enough or arrogant enough to be in the media saying all the pressure's on Nathan and Southampton and it's his first game at home. They're just not things we talk about in our club. We just focus on ourselves, concentrate on ourselves, and do the best that we can do. I don't think it's a free hit, but I appreciate and respect your question. I know why you've asked me that.
I Beth touched on it earlier, but I suppose it's a unique circumstances around this game as well, in as much that Southampton haven't played for weeks. Is that going to have an impact, you think, on the game?
Again, I can't answer it because I don't know what Southampton have done. All I know is, as I've said before, I followed Nathan's coaching career quite closely. I've coached against him when we were in the 23s, as it were, in 2012 when he was at Charlton, and he's an outstanding manager. He's had huge success. He's incredibly highly regarded in the football world, hence why he finds himself as a Premier League manager, which I believe he deserves. And even last year I was at Birmingham, so we came up against each other twice. He's a high-end guy with a high-end reputation, and I think he has that because of the work he's done in football. So I've absolutely no doubts that whatever team Nathan puts out tomorrow will be well drilled and well prepared. And I also think, in fairness, Southampton I believe have had good success under a previous manager, so who was very prescriptive in how he did things. So we've got a really tough game in our hands, no doubt about it.
So what's it going to take for Lincoln to win this one?
We'll have to be at our very best, and we'll have to be absolutely at our maximum and hope that Southampton are not at theirs. We can't get away from that.
I suppose this, over the last few years, Lincoln's synonymous with cup runs. I suppose the fact that you're sat in that changing ground, I mean, I assume you're at the training ground right now, that's due to a cup run in the FA Cup a few years ago. They hold nights like this very special at that football club, and I suppose there's a tradition of winning these sort of games. It must be very exciting to go into it, this sort of a match.
It is. It's a big part of the club's thinking. I was going to use another word there, but I don't want to say that. In terms of things the club look at the start of the season, a cup run is a big thing. And we have a beautiful training ground here, and we have that because of a great cup run that the club's been on in the past. And it's something I've heard quite a lot since I've not been at the club long, but it's something that gets mentioned quite a lot. So I'm pleased that we are where we are. I think it's only the second time in the club's history that we've been in this round. We're in the quarterfinals of the Johnson's Paint. So on the whole, it served us well. Unfortunately, we lost in the first round of the FA Cup. So it's an old cliche, we'll never get too high, never get too low. But I think in terms of the cup this year, we've done okay.
And it's a great experience for you as well, isn't it?
Incredible. Yeah, phenomenal. There's just the 6 months I've had at the club have been phenomenal in terms of what the people above have helped me learn, get to where I've got to, given me the opportunity. I won't go into games and bore you with certain games, but yeah, we've had collectively this year, we've already together had some great experiences.
It's just a shame it's not Sinsel Bank, I guess, tomorrow night.
Yeah, that would have been nice for us and our fans. On the flip side, I think the club might make a couple of more shillings from an away game. So I think everybody's happy.
Next one then, hopefully. All the best, Mark. Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi, Mark. Just a quick couple of ones from me. Where would making club history at Lincoln sit in terms of your career?
Sorry, in what regard? Sorry,
in terms of what you've achieved in the game, where would making club history at Lincoln sit within all of that for you personally?
Oh, huge. Look, I'll try not to bore you with this and keep this as brief as I can. When I was 14, I got a trial for Millwall. That was more than I ever could have wished for. And I can remember going on trial like it was yesterday. I'm 46 now, so I'll let you do the maths. It's a long time ago. I remember thinking I'll be able to say when I grow up that I had a trial at a football club in England. that's more than I ever wished for. So to be able to stand on the touchline at a stunning stadium tomorrow, representing an incredible club like Lincoln, will undoubtedly be one of the proudest moments I will have had in my 30 years involved in football. Absolutely, be right up there.
And in terms of making club history, what would that mean to you and the players?
Well, look, it's not about me. It's the one thing I love about the club and the people that I work with and the people that work above me. All they care about is Lincoln. And whether it's myself or Director of Football, Jez, Liam Scully, Clive, Jay, Vice Chairman, the board members, all they collectively care about, and we say it all the time, and they say it all the time, and now I say it, we're just custodians of an outstanding club. And all we're here to do is to serve the club and hopefully take it to another level and give our fans something that they can be proud of and the people of Lincoln can be proud of. And take me out of the equation. I'm not talking about me, but when you look at what the club has done in recent history, I think they've absolutely everybody connected with the club. And I'm new to it. I've not played a part in that, and I hope I do going forward. I think everybody can be very proud of themselves.
And in terms of getting to where you are now in the fourth round, do you sort of reflect on the achievement and the fact that it was the late 60s when the only other time that this was done was achieved? Do you reflect on that? Do you think about that at all?
Not really, if I'm being honest. When we've actually hit quite a few milestones this year, which I didn't know about. I don't think anybody's known about, and they just kindly, somebody at the club will send us a text, and it's like, wow, we didn't realise that. And they're amazing, but they're great to have, and it kind of tells me and enables me to understand that the things that we are doing are good, and where the processes we've got in place are correct. So that's the biggest satisfaction I get personally, that the work we're doing as a team, as a coaching staff, as a club, collectively, I believe we're going somewhere. I believe we're progressing. So I think all the cup run has emphasised is that we're doing things properly. And by the way, sometimes you can be doing it all properly and it doesn't work. But I believe this year the results we've had and where we are is evidence of the stuff we're doing in the background. And that's not me and the coaches, and it's the club as a whole. There's a lot of stuff that goes on at the club that people don't see or not aware of, and it's everybody collectively. A lot of people that don't work here in the training ground have played a huge part in that.
And before your players run out, will you say to them, "Go on, lads, go and be history makers"?
No.
Why not?
Because it's what we've done really, really well this year is we've just taken each game as it is. It's a game of football. And something I talked about today on the training ground was a bit like, what's the worst that can happen? You could lose a game of football, and I don't mean that in a blasé way, because I know how much it means to the fans. I know how hard it is. We've talked about the cost of living and the how expensive it is to get there. So it means a lot to us. But I think our success this year has been really balanced. Like when we lost to Chippenham in the cup, it was a tough few days for us. But I said to the guys, you've lost a game of football. That's it. And likewise, when you win a game of football, it's the same thing. We're looking at the bigger picture of what we're trying to achieve and what we're trying to do as a club. And whether we win or lose tomorrow, that won't define who we are.
Thanks very much, Mark. Wish you all the best. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thanks, Matt. Then just Charlotte from Links FM. If you have anything to add on to it?
Hi, yeah. Hi, Mark. Just a few questions. Firstly, I just wanted to ask what the atmosphere is like, sort of in the lead up to this game with the team. What's that been like?
It's just been the same as any other game, Charlotte, and because the program we work in is so hectic and constant, you really don't have time to think about the next game. Obviously we trained all last week for Cheltenham. We travelled down. The game got cancelled. Lads went their way. I actually went and watched another game. Got back. You get home late. You're then focusing on the next game, and you just come in and prepare. So you don't really have time to think about it, to be honest. And me as a person, I try not to get carried away with little things. So I've avoided those types of conversations with the players, and if anything, just talked about it being another game.
Absolutely. And I suppose for yourself, what do you make of the team making it to this stage?
Really proud, really pleased. I think they deserve it. As I said earlier, we've had 3 tough away games. We've scored a lot of goals along the way. We've had penalty shootouts, and so there's been lots of fun and excitement along the way. But I think the lads deserve to be where they will be tomorrow night. They've earned it.
Absolutely. I'm sure many will agree with that. If you're happy to share, what have preparations been like for this game? How long's it been? What's it been like?
Very brief, if I'm being honest, because obviously we've had a league to focus on, and last week we obviously prepared for Cheltenham, then we'd Everton on the Tuesday, I think, and Wickham on the Saturday before that. So the difference is, like, a lot of the stuff we do, we've been working on for 6 months. So we're not going into tomorrow, you know, we're not going to shock Nathan with some rocket science tomorrow. We've worked hard on what we do and the principles of play and how we play. We've been doing it for 6 months. It's something we actually talked about when we were working today in the training. And naturally, there's strengths and weaknesses where you think you can expose people, or where we think they could hurt us. There's little things like that you work on, but on the whole, we've worked hard together for 6 months.
And what are the chances looking like?
We're positive. We go into every game believing we can win, and you know, we've had some big wins this year, and we've had games where we were expected to win and we didn't win, and that's football. And I could reel off a list of games where people have won. Well, look at Saudi Arabia beating Argentina. You know, that's football. That's what makes football so good.
A perfect example there. I suppose just lastly, you spoke about obviously fans that perhaps might not be able to make it. How important is it that you have those travelling supporters with you? And do you have any idea of how many might be there at the game tomorrow?
Yeah, sorry, I'm asking somebody else. I was told originally it was 1,500, which was amazing. I don't know how many will be affected by not coming. It's not a conversation I've had with any of yet, but I think we've been on a brilliant journey this year. It's new to me. I think actually the fans as a whole, when you look at the attendances we had 10 years ago to where they are today, it's phenomenal, the growth in the club. And I think they've been on an incredible journey. And I hope that this year they feel that we've carried on that journey. It's been a new experience for me. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, the connection with them. You can see the connection between the fans and the players, and trust me, it is all about them. But that's been evident week in, week out, and we've had some bad days. Everybody does, that's football. But the connection between the players and the fans is something very, very unique, and something we're really grateful for.